So I just got this little horse in last night, and you know, I've been doing this almost 50 years and I still get excited when I get a new horse in, just because I love the process of building a relationship and communication with the horse. This is a little 3-year-old stud colt and belongs to a friend of mine here, and mainly he brought him to me because he's hard to catch. He does have 30 days riding on him, and apparently he's riding out pretty well, but he's having trouble catching him. So I'm going to work on that tonight and use some methods. First thing is, I'm going to use the 2 cardinal rules of horse training. And those are, number 1, make the right thing easy and the wrong thing difficult. Number 2 is reward the smallest change and the slightest try. If you'll use those 2 rules training horses, they work with everything that we teach a horse, everything. And then the method that I'm going to use is pressure and release. And so I'll try to explain that as I do this. And this little horse, obviously 30 days riding, he's been around people. Let me ask you something. Why do you think he's running away from me? Is he afraid? Oh, maybe a little bit. He might be a little bit afraid of me. But mostly, now he stopped there. And the reason I moved my rope is because he was kind of turning his butt toward me. But notice that he's not taking up the full round pin. Why is he running away from me? It could be fear, but it could also be just that he thinks if I catch him, it will be an uncomfortable situation. And I would illustrate this by saying, think of someone that you know, and if you see that person in Walmart, you would turn and go to the other aisle and try to avoid them. Yeah, you know who that person is. Why would you do that? Because you believe that the interaction with that person will be uncomfortable. And so that's primarily why he's walking away from me. He just thinks that if I catch him, something's going to happen that he's not going to like. So I've got to change that understanding within him so that he wants to be with me. And the way I do that is pressure. When he does the wrong thing, I make it uncomfortable. So if he wants to stay away from me, I'll use this rope or my body language to just pressure him a little bit. And then if he shows me, which he will here in a minute, an indication that maybe he'd rather be with me, then I'll take that pressure off. And this is a 60-foot round pen. It's a little bit big. 45-foot would probably be a little better, but I have this size set up so I can lope horses in here. But it's okay. I actually did this one time with a horse that was turned loose in an 80-acre pasture. Pressure. He kind of turned his butt toward me. Oh, right there. He just looked at me just a little bit. See that? So I'm going to back off and let him think about that a moment. So now he's thinking, I don't really like this running around thing, and I'm not trying to make him tired. I'm just trying to make him think about being with me. So he's looking at me. Then he's looking away. Now I'll step toward his hip. He's looking at me. I'll back up a little. Step toward his hip. If he looks at me, I'll back up. If he looks away, looks at me, I'll back up a little. So I'm rewarding the smallest change and the slightest try. If he tries to think about being with me, and see his head straight up in the air, he's nervous, but he did look at me, I'll back up. So I'm rewarding just the littlest thought that he has that maybe being with me would be okay. Okay, nice, okay. Now see, he's learning that if he moves his head, I'll back away. Okay, his head comes up. Now let's see if he'll reach over here and giving him an opportunity. There, good boy. Good boy. Good boy. He's just trying to figure out what this is all about. Good boy. Very nice. Very nice. This horse's name is Boaz, by the way. Okay, so each time I'm getting a little closer. Nice. Nice. Okay. Let's see if he'll reach over and sniff me. You want to take a sniff, bud? There. There we go. I still want to back away as much as I can. Since he's not going to reach over and sniff me, let's see what happens if I reach over and touch his shoulder. That is the spot where his mother licked him when he was a baby. Right there. Okay. He looked at me, then he looked away. He looked at me. Oh, that was wonderful. Okay. So, did I catch this horse tonight? No, I really wasn't. That really wasn't my goal. My goal is to teach him to be caught. And so, what I'll do, let me see if he'll let me walk into him from straight in front of him. Okay. And notice how I'm coming at him with my body language. I'm not approaching him as a predator. I'm not being aggressive. I'm not looking him directly in the eye. Okay. I'm just real gently coming in here and say, do you want to say hello? And he's turning away, which tells me he thinks something uncomfortable is going to happen. And he's probably, every time a human gets near him, they put a rope around him and pull on him. That's probably what his experience has been. So I'm not going to do that. Okay? I'm not going to do anything like that. And that's probably all I'm going to get done for tonight.